So, Riley, Wolves and Wagers. First game of the in-season tournament, Ryan. I think this is a must-win when you look at who they have in their group. Absolutely loaded in the Timberwolves group. And I'm actually going to tail you for the first prop tonight on the Rudy over 12 and a half rebounds. I should be following you all season on that, or should have been following you all season on that. And I'm finally going to throw some dough on Rudy over 12 and a half boards tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, he's coming off a 21 rebound game. Pretty good matchup, even with the 7-5 or whatever he is, Wemby out there. I mean, Rudy's going to be all over the glass. He's going to be dominating down there. So love his boards again tonight. Also going to stay on Ant. He's at 26.5 points at minus 120. So they upped that number pretty significantly by 2 points. But shout out to Calling Our Shot. Watched his YouTube video this morning, and he mentioned how that's like his best bet of the day, I think. So love Ant tonight. So I'm going to double down with it on his points and assists at 33.5 at minus 104. He's been moving the ball really well. So I also like his PA.
Yeah, I know I talked a little bit about Ant once his point line reached above 25 that I wouldn't throw any dough on him. I lied. I'm throwing it on him. You talked me into it. And then outside of that, my other lines tonight are all Jaden McDaniels. I was a little hesitant on some of these lines, but 14.5 PRA, 13.5 PR, and 10.5 points. Line me up, Ryan.
Yeah, Jaden's going to have a big breakout game here soon. He did, I guess, a couple days ago against the Celtics, right? Not so much against the Pelicans, but that was just a blowout from the start, and everybody was kind of getting theirs. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I think Jaden's going to have an impact tonight defending some of those athletic wings that the Spurs have. So he'll be on the floor. He should be getting some attempts. Love the Jaden props. I'm going to do a little two-leg parlay here. Ant 2+3s and Cat 2+3s at minus 118. Can't complain about getting that number there when they both shoot a pretty heavy volume of threes. I'm going to double down. Cat hit this last game, 4+3s at plus 470. He's starting to figure out that's his role. I think he's got a really good matchup against Zach Collins tonight, which we'll talk about more when we do the breakdown. But I really like Cat tonight.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I like all of your lines. I mean, and 2+3s, Cat 2+3s at minus 118. Are you kidding me? That sounds like free money to me. But my big key to the game tonight, Rye, is the head coach matchup. I think Finch needs to really step up tonight against Pop. But I think we mostly want to talk about Wemby, so I'll let you start on kind of how we expect to cover and guard Wemby tonight.
Yeah, it's fun. It really is, because I'm not entirely sure how the Wolves plan to do it, right? Like the Spurs somewhat match up somewhat well, I guess, against the Wolves, right? Because they kind of also have that too big look having Zach Collins and having Wemby out there. Now, Cat has absolutely cooked Zach Collins in the past, and I'm hoping he does tonight as well. But Wemby, he's kind of a wild card. It could be a game where he has no impact. It could also be a game where he goes out and single-handedly wins the game for the Spurs. I don't know how Rudy's going to defend him. I'm guessing Pop is going to want to try and get Rudy on the perimeter, because Rudy is a lot stockier than Wemby is. So it's not going to go well if he gets a lot of post touches unless he gets Rudy real deep and sealed or something. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So Wemby's effect, I think, is going to have to be from the perimeter, and I think they're going to be pulling Rudy out a lot, and that's going to cause the Wolves to have to guard him in other ways, and I'm interested to see how Finch handles that.
Yeah, and I think when it comes down to it, obviously Wemby's kind of the star of the show tonight, and we need to kind of hone in on him. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about just kind of the Spurs team as a whole. I mean, you got 4 players over 14 points a night. I mean, that's actually pretty solid. And, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, you mentioned Zach Collins a little bit earlier. But then you look at their next 3 guys after that, Cedi Osman, Shohan, and Trey Jones. Those guys are NBA professionals who can get it done on a nightly basis. So I'm looking forward to see how not only Chris Finch dials up against Wemby, but also how he dials up his bench to kind of go against some of these guys on the Spurs.
I like how you bring that up, because that's another key to me, is controlling their 3-point shooting. And off that bench, Doug McBuckets, right?
Yeah.
Jack Osman, you got guys who can really shoot that pill. And even in the starting lineup, right? And if they're giving up second chance points or second chance opportunities off of Wemby offensive rebounds and stuff, they might kill you there. And that could end up losing the Wolves a game when they should be favored. They're heavily favored tonight, in fact. But, it's the in-season tournament. Popovich, he's just a grizzled vet. He's been doing this for years. He knows how to take advantage of certain weaknesses that the Wolves might have. So I'm excited for it, and I'm guessing you are too.
Yeah, but I think when it comes down to it, I know this game is on the road. And San Antonio always gets up for their Spurs, especially with getting Wemby at number 1. And then you got obviously Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Good for the Spurs, man. You know, the Spurs and Mavs, when I look at those two teams being able to replace just all NBA talent consistently, it's crazy. But I think this is a must win game tonight, right? I know we're 5-2. I know we're third in the West, but when you look at this in-season tournament, these games count. And when you look at the Kings, when you look at the Warriors, when you look at the Pelicans, and you look at the Spurs, I think the Spurs are the worst out of that group. So you have to win this matchup, even though it's on the road, in my opinion, tonight, right?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, if you want a chance at the in-season tournament, and I don't know how serious players are taking that, but to me, it looks like they are. Like, the few games that I've watched for the seeding or whatever, it looks like there's been more intensity than just a normal regular season matchup. But you have to win. You know, you have to win this game. You got the Warriors looming twice, I think, coming up next. So not an easy schedule coming up. Have to win on the road against San Antonio. We're excited. It's a Friday night full of hoops. Hope you guys tail along with us because we're hoping to smash these plays.